Hey everybody, it is Suzanne at Yada Creative again, and I wanted to pop on real quick to talk about how to actually get people to click on the ads. You might be able to finagle your way around the boost post button, but how to actually create something that is clickable, is wantable, that the right people, not just anybody, but the right people will want to click on. And it's a little formula that I picked up from the ClickFunnels world. ClickFunnels is a cult. It's frankly a cult. It's not, but it's a product that marketers use a lot. In their methodology, teaches this three steps to get people to click on your shit. It is hook, story, offer. And those are the three key components that drive a lot of marketing. So what's a hook? A hook is anything that gets people to stop their scroll. So it could be a headline. My hook for my music is if Tori Amos wrote songs about robots. It inspires enough curiosity, and the right people who already know who Tori Amos is and also are very interested in robots, I guess, would want to click on it. Now, for a 6-week program that I'm running to teach people Facebook and Instagram advertising, the hook is how to learn ads without hiring an expensive agency and wasting hundreds of hours on tutorials. So that's the hook that I use for the 6-week program that I promise to teach you everything you need to know and nothing that you don't. And in fact, we're just launching on it now, and I'm really excited about it, but this is actually coming up. So this issue of hook, story, and offer. So the hook is actually, if you wanted to make it the simplest template I could possibly boil it down, it could be how to blank, whatever your expertise is, without blank, doing something really crappy that nobody wants to do. You could also do like how to blank, whatever your expertise is, and fill in something that's like more pie in the sky, like how to make millions overnight without lifting a finger is an extreme example of a dumb hook that don't use it because it's false. But it's an example of something where you can both paint a rosy picture and tell them what you can avoid by working with you. So a hook is a headline, usually, or the first sentence of an ad. The second part is story. So it's interesting that we want to lay down a story about what we're talking about. And it's also just, for example, in fact, I should probably tell a story right now. So when I started doing Facebook ads, I was very formulaic. I was pretty generic, I think, and was trying to just get people to click on things because it was free or what have you. But on the internet, people are going to be connecting with people. That's what social media is all about. And the driver of connection is story. And I didn't really understand that. I was just like kind of putting in copy or bullet points, or I'm a very like straight to the point kind of person. But once I started learning the art of storytelling in advertising, things shifted for me really. Like I noticed that people were responding more, were following up with me more once I figured out that storytelling was the missing key. Instead of being like, outline, benefit points, pain points, whatever it was, I could tell the story of how I learned this, how I avoided that bad thing, and built this great thing that I'm now offering to you. And a big piece of that is like figuring out what your origin story, how you came about your business, how you got to start selling what you're doing. How, there's obviously many stories that are connected to how you started your business. So once you got a hook in place, and you can research hooks by looking up like headline script generators, There's another, a good hook might be a question that is most common with your clients or your customers. And then using a story to illustrate how you also overcame obstacles or how you stumbled on this answer to this question and how it's affected you. That makes it a lot more clear in people's minds because you're telling a story instead of just saying, here are all the benefits. Because you will scroll past all of those lists. You won't actually stop and connect with the person behind the ad or the message or the social media post without that story, because people remember stories more than they remember bullet lists. They really do. So, hook, right? Make them stop the scroll. Story. Engage them, relate with them, tell a story about how this has either changed your life or not changed your life. Why would you tell a story about not changing lives? I don't know. Then you've got the offer. So all of them need to line up. Whatever your offer is, whether you're offering a freebie or a challenge or a low-cost thing or a webinar or a high-cost thing, I would not recommend advertising high-cost things to strangers. I would recommend doing that to people who are already in your world, but that's a whole other Facebook Live. The offer part is really the thing that's going to make them actually click, because you've hooked them, you've told a story, you've had some relation with them, you've had some rapport, and now you're saying, after all of this, I have this freebie, or I have this small item, the $15 item. And whatever that is needs to align with all three of them, the hook and the story and the offer. If the hook ended up being a question, like, I'm trying to think of one off of my head. Have you ever struggled with Facebook and Instagram ads and saw your money drain down the toilet? I have too, and here's what I did. And then I learned this, and I was so surprised that I want to share this with you, and I'm going to do this for free. Go sign up here. Do you see how there was hook, story, offer? And they all align, and they all help to create the content that's going to actually compel people to hit that buy button or to hit that sign up button. So they all have to be in alignment, and that also can help you figure out what you're going to be doing on your Facebook Lives, what you're going to be doing with your freebie offers, and even what you're going to be doing for your quote-unquote tripwires, which is the low-cost offer. Researching what's going to hook people and what people are actually asking is also really important. So use Google, of course. Use Quora. Find questions that your potential clients are already asking about your area of expertise. There's also a thing called, I think, answerthepublic.com, which is really interesting. You put in some keywords and it shows you a bunch of questions that the people out there in internet land are already asking about those topics. So that's one of the easiest ways to generate a hook and a story and an offer is take somebody's question. One of my questions that I get from a lot of people is, how do I even find what audiences to target? And then, okay, if you've ever messed around with Facebook and Instagram ads and you wonder who would you actually target, I get it. I struggle with this. I actually had to do a lot of testing and tweaking to find out what works and what doesn't. Here, let me give you a free worksheet that will help you sort out who to target with your audience. Or here's a free webinar. I actually have a free webinar floating around there somewhere about that very subject. So getting those three aligned, hook, story, offer, hook, story, offer, hook, story, offer, everything. Just make that hook, story, offer. That ends up compelling people to hit that click button, to hit that buy button, to hit that sign up button, because you're already in their head, essentially. So speaking of offer, I do want to mention, I mentioned before that I've been starting this training session. It's a 6-week training session. We're already in session. We had our first call last Thursday. I am extending it to a couple more people who want to jump in and just watch the replay of last week. So I'm going to post the link in the description. If you want to join, the absolute last deadline is Wednesday. We will actually go through my hook that I said before was, if you want to learn Facebook and Instagram ads without hiring an expensive agency or watching hundreds of hours of tutorials that don't actually mean anything to your business, I'm going to teach you everything you need to know and nothing you don't in a really supportive community. And we have a few spots open, and I'm going to totally let late stragglers in because I have been a chronic procrastinator before. So I will totally let you in, and I'll give you the link in a second here. So thank you so much for hopping on and sticking it out this way. I do have that offer for you if you are interested, and I will talk to you later.